What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with.
I didn't like him because, Sean and I were very different that way. I was very, family oriented, and that's how I was raised. Once I got to know him and, we became friends first, and then we developed this bond.
The jurors also wanted to hear a readback of testimony relating to Combs' former girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, who was in the Navigator when it was stopped by police. An officer testified that everyone in the SUV was ordered to put their hands on the vehicle, but Lopez walked away, saying she was going home.
Y'all, J-Lo's definitely not having the best time this year. I mean, first her movie flops, then she's catching heat on TikTok for her Bronx obsession, and now to add to the mix, there are rumors swirling around that Diddy might snitch on her about that incident back in '99 that she's been desperately trying to sweep under the rug. And it looks like none other than J-Lo's former co-star from Anaconda, Ice Cube, has something to say about this mess. Word on the street is that Ice warned J-Lo she better get her story straight about that '99 because the feds are reportedly getting ready to reopen the case, and she'll most likely be called to testify. A woman who claims Diddy shot her in the face that night recently spoke out to confirm she will cooperate with the feds if the case is reopened, and she also revealed that Diddy openly bragged about using J-Lo as his gun mule to smuggle the weapon in the club where the shooting happened. So what's next for J-Lo? Is she really getting caught in the Diddy shenanigery by the feds? And will she take Ice Cube's advice and testify against Diddy this time around? Let's break it down.
As she was being detained, a gun was discovered in the vehicle. At that point, a sergeant on the scene ordered everyone who was in the vehicle under arrest. The officer quotes Lopez as saying, "It's not my."
J-Lo's relationship with Diddy is back in the spotlight thanks to some fresh drama from way back in 1999. So, you know how Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in February accusing him of running a RICO enterprise, right? Well, Lil Rod recently submitted an amended lawsuit, and this time he included some new details about that 1999 nightclub that led to both Diddy and J-Lo getting arrested. According to Lil Rod, Diddy confessed to being involved in a shooting, and he allegedly bragged that J-Lo was the one who passed him the gun. The incident took place on the night of December 27, 1999, when Diddy and his then-girlfriend J-Lo and bad boy artist Shine were partying at Midtown's Club New York. Things took a dramatic turn when Diddy allegedly spilled a drink on this guy, Matthew Alien, aka Scar, a Brooklyn ex-con with a bit of a temper. Scar turned around and threw some cash in Diddy's face, wrapped up like he was making it rain. And he started mouthing off about Diddy's spending habits. Next thing you know, tempers flare, shots are fired, and chaos erupts. Eyewitnesses swear they saw Diddy's in the mix, and 3 unlucky clubgoers end up injured, including one woman catching a bullet to the face. Diddy and J-Lo made a quick exit in his Lincoln Navigator, but just minutes later, they were pulled over for running a red light. And guess what the cops find in the trunk? Yep, a stolen 9mm hand. Cue the handcuffs and the ride to the slammer. J-Lo ended up spending 14 hours behind bars, with reports saying she was a wreck the whole time, crying and sobbing like there was just no tomorrow. The charges against J-Lo were quickly dropped, and she reportedly cooperated with the investigators and has been sticking to her story ever since, denying any involvement in the shooting. As for Diddy, Shine, and Diddy's bodyguard, Wolf, they all found themselves in hot water and went to trial over gun charges. And while Shine didn't fare too well in court and ended up serving 10 years behind bars, Diddy and Wolf managed to walk away scot-free. Diddy had some serious legal muscle on his side, including big names like Johnny Cochran and Benjamin Braffman. The lawyers argued that Diddy was acting in self-defense, and witnesses claimed they didn't see if Diddy was the one who fired the shots that led to those people in the nightclub getting injured. But it didn't take long before rumors started swirling that Diddy left Shine high and dry. In fact, according to Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Dill, Diddy put the squeeze on witnesses and paid them to witness against Shine.
Y'all hearing it from me, but Shine said it himself in his interview. You supposed to be my brother, and you got people testifying against me? Those people were testifying, they were brought to Puff first, saying that what they saw against Shine and what they saw Shine do.
Immediately after this incident, J-Lo dumped Diddy, and she hasn't dated a rapper since.
Said Diddy texted, does he still try to holler? He has to, because it's Puff. No.
No? That was an awkward no. All right.
No, she said no.
Has Diddy ruined it for like black guys or just hip hop guys? Like after him, he's like, I'm not dating no more black hip hop guys ever again.
You know what? I'm a little bit off musicians. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
J-Lo worked hard to rebrand herself and move away from the gangster persona she put on for Diddy. And shortly after she dumped him, she started dating Ben Affleck. J-Lo also seemed reluctant to discuss the details of her relationship with Diddy, and she never once talked about that incident that landed her in jail.
Access Hollywood caught up with Diddy recently, who had very nice things to say about you and your judging on the show. He thinks you're doing a great job. He says, let me find the quote, the way she's handled it, she's been such a compassionate person, it made me cry like twice. And then he's gonna be a mentor on the show. So he said he's gonna be the one to show the kids how to do it.
Right.
Do you have any advice for him to come on?
No, I mean, he knows what he's doing. I don't have really anything. No advice for him.
No advice for him. Anything to say about the kind words?
It's nice. Sweet.
But it looks like all that work J-Lo put in over the years to sweep that whole mess with Diddy under the rug is now coming back to haunt her. Last month, Diddy's former producer, Lil Rod Jones, filed an amendment to the lawsuit against Diddy and claimed that Diddy shared that he was responsible for the in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine, and that Jennifer carried the firearm into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into the altercation with another individual. Meanwhile, the woman who got in the face during the incident has now come forward, claiming that for the past 24 years, she's been shouting from the rooftops that Diddy was the one who her. And yet, no one paid attention to her, and people accused her of lying. Reuben, who was one of the 3 victims in the club shooting, recently talked about Lil Rod's lawsuit, and she again confirmed that Diddy was the one who shot her in the face. Pointed out how Cassie mentioned in her lawsuit filed against Diddy back in November that Diddy made her carry a handgun in her purse. And according to Natanya, this has been Diddy's MO since the 90s.
The one with Cassie, she made mention that Puffy made her carry his into nightclubs and wherever they went. And he threatened her to make her feel like she had to do so. And while there were lots of things of importance, that stood out to me. And I'm going to tell you why. In this lawsuit with the producer Lil Rod, they were both SA'd by him and threatened and physically harmed. But in this lawsuit, he appears to be a very young producer to me, but he said something very specific. As a means of threatening him, Puffy said, that's why I shut up the club in New York back in 1999 and let Shine take the fall for it. Let me tell you why that's of utmost importance to me. Because I am the woman who he shot in the face. In that 1999, December 27th, 1999, Club New York.
Natanya said she's been talking about this for years and telling everyone that Diddy shot her. In fact, she said the surgeon who operated on her to remove the bullet fragments testified about hearing her tell the hospital staff that Diddy was the one who shot her.
I have told everyone ad nauseum since then, even the surgeon who did the surgery to take the bullet, I got shot in my face with a 9mm hollow point bullet. Called a cop. I literally have told everyone and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face. I watched him fire the gun. I've said it all this time. Even the surgeon who did my surgery to take out part of the bullet fragments that was aspirating into my lungs and try to remove as many bullet fragments as possible testified in the criminal trial that while they were putting me under, I was screaming, Puffy, pew pew me in the face. He testified in the criminal trial. It is in the record. They all knew he did it.
But Natanya said Diddy paid off a bunch of people, including the club owner, to hide the security footage of the incident.
But he paid off the club bouncer named Sharice and all these other people and the club owners with their video to hide the video. That's his MO. I told everybody that. This man almost took my life, has traumatized my life, has caused undue harm, irreparable damage to my life, lied his behind off.
To make matters worse, Natanya said that before all these lawsuits against Diddy started pouring in, she spent over 2 decades dealing with online trolls Diddy sent to harass her.
I've had all these youngins on the internet me, swearing that I'm making it up that he did it. And look what he did to Lil Rod. He threatened him. Oh, you don't think I bust my... I club in Club New York and let Shine take the fall for it. I people. Well. It only took 24 whole years for it to come out. You see this tattoo? This commemorates me getting It took 24 years for him to come out and say it. I've been saying it all along, but y'all pick and choose who y'all want to believe. Oh, baby. You ain't seen nothing yet. Not only did he pew me in the face, he also set off a course of harassment against me for the past 24 years.
But it didn't stop there. Natanya revealed that the harassment wasn't just confined to nasty comments online. She claimed that Diddy went as far as sending people to intimidate her by sabotaging her car. Apparently, and allegedly, they kept blowing out her tires over and over again.
When I tell you the things I went through, there was a time in 2017 and 2018 where I got 7 flats on my BMW. 7, the same tire, in a 2-year span. 7 on the same tire, and they were all new. Every time it happened, I had to get a new tire. I have the pictures to prove it.
Natanya explained that Diddy was doing all this because before Cassie filed her lawsuit, she was the only one who successfully sued Diddy and forced him to pay up. And of course, Diddy's fragile ego couldn't get over that.
Because prior to Cassie, I was the only person to be victimized by him and then to successfully sue him and get paid. And he had to pay me out of his pocket. He has never gotten over that.
But see, Natanya is still not done fighting to get justice, and she's now swearing up and down she won't rest until she sees Diddy punished for all the pain and suffering he's caused her and her family.
You see this RICO charge that's about to come? This conspiring and pew-pewing up the club and ruining or attempting to ruin my life? As God is my witness, I will not stop until you suffer every single iota of punishment, until I have every second of recompense that you took from me. For every tear that I had to cry or my children had to cry, I am going to get $1 million back from you. I will not stop until you pay the price for what you did to my life.
So what does this mean for J-Lo? Could she get in trouble too if Diddy gets slapped with a RICO charge and the case goes to trial? Well, it looks like Natanya Reuben thinks J-Lo should answer for allegedly serving as Diddy's mule. In a recent interview with News Nation, Natanya said she hopes that Diddy and others who were arrested that night will be held accountable. Natanya said, "When I was fighting for my life on the operating table in St. Vincent's Hospital for the doctors to remove the bullet, that was the portion of the bullet that had shattered and was aspirating into my lungs. They had already held Miss Lopez and let her go and dropped her charges after about an hour. This is absolutely ridiculous." Meanwhile, reports also surfaced that J-Lo's former co-star Ice Cube has reached out to warn her she better get her act together and play ball with the feds because those RICO charges looming over Diddy are serious business. As for fans, some of them are now calling out J-Lo for staying silent all these years and doing nothing to warn others about Diddy. Someone said, "The fact that she knew all this was happening and still does nothing to help those speaks loudly about her." But others are saying it's not fair to blame J-Lo because she was probably terrified of Diddy and feared for her safety. One fan said, "No, leave her alone and any other woman who had to deal with that madman. I am scared just hearing it." But what's your take on J-Lo's involvement with Diddy and that nightclub shooting? Do you think J-Lo was a victim or an accomplice? Drop your comments below and don't miss out on this next video.